Hi, this is Richard Fields with this week's Report from the Fields. I recently came across a political phenomenon called the Curley effect. It's named after one James Michael Curley, who served 4 non-consecutive terms as mayor of Boston between 1914 and 1950. He also was governor of Massachusetts and served 2 non-consecutive terms in the U.S. House of Representatives. He did all of this in spite of being well known for graft and was actually convicted a couple of times. So how did he continue to get reelected for public office despite his, shall we say, colorfully unsavory behavior while in office? He did it by positioning himself as the Irish Catholic champion of the Irish working man in opposition to the wealthy Protestant Brahmins. To illustrate how in your face his corruption was, I offer this anecdote. Before running for mayor, he ran for alderman. Prior to that campaign, he impersonated someone else in taking the federal civil service exam for postman. He won that election while he was in prison. His campaign slogan was, he, quote, did it for a friend, end quote. As mayor, he deliberately raised taxes on the rich and middle class to spread wealth among the poor. As the wealthy left town, his voting base among the remaining poor became a larger percentage of the remaining electorate. We libertarians believe democratic socialist politicians' political policies to tax the rich, to give to the poor, are destined to have wealth-reducing effects on the population at large. And empirically, they always do. We are also accustomed to thinking that those wealth distribution policies are advanced by politicians who are ignorant of economics and unaware of the economic harm they are causing. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe running the wealthy out of town to consolidate political power among the remaining voters is actually the point. A couple of economists came to this conclusion. Edward Glaser and Andre Schlieffler, they came up with the term, the Curley effect, namely that the interest of politicians in getting reelected can be in direct conflict with the economic well-being of the populace as a whole. It explains how the avowed socialist Zoran Mamdani can get elected as mayor of New York while effectively saying bye-bye to the only people capable of financing his grandiose promises. The leftist mayor of Seattle, Katie Wilson, actually said, I think the claims that millionaires are going to leave our state are like super overblown. And if the ones that leave, like bye, while laughing. It explains why labor unions in California are pushing a 5% tax on California billionaires' assets, not income, assets, and which includes a provision allowing the legislature to approve by a simple majority vote anytime in the future, lowering that asset threshold, maybe eventually to the asset threshold that includes your assets. The wealthy are leaving New York, Seattle, and California en masse. The middle class seems to be seeing the handwriting on the wall, and they're leaving too. The politicians are quietly congratulating each other for tightening their political control. This is something that once you see, it is hard to unsee. I'm Richard Fields, and that's this week Report from the Fields. I'll see you again next week.